Did I mention I hate cultists? I really hate cultists. And stay out! Stupid zombies making me miss the episode premiere. I swear to Celestia, if I see another zombie today, I'm going to scream. Oh, come on! Hi there, folks. This is Deckard Spade, and today we're going to be talking about 28 Pranks Later. Now, coming into this episode, I hate to say it, I'm a bit biased. Well, more than a bit. As you know, I also review video games, and one of my biggest pet peeves is lazy design using certain tropes. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some good videos and media revolving around zombies. If written well, you end up with a story that usually is compelling and has the zombies as a proper plot device. Yes, the zombies are there, but they're there to deliver some kind of point. Whether it be to learn from the hubris of the science that creates these creatures, to look at the perversion of nature that they represent, or sometimes even just to create a faceless horde of enemies for you to fight, zombies, if used correctly, can make for good entertainment value. However, I feel that right now in media, there's an oversaturation of zombies. There are some good movies and games out there that you can find and play, my favorite being some of the Dead Rising series. Or, perhaps, if you're looking for a good movie reference, Zombieland. I know that these fall more under the comedic horror section, but they make use of zombies as a plot device and a mechanic in the correct fashion. So many different things that you see out there today that have a zombie slapped on the label are just bad. I already cringe thinking about the new Metal Gear Solid game that they're supposed to be setting in an alternate dimension where you fight zombies. Thanks, Konami. And I get that you're going to end up with some kind of media that will fail despite the best intentions using zombies as its own theme. More often than not, though, zombies for the sake of zombies just hurts my head. Think about it. If you do a story about Armageddon and just watch zombies shuffle around eating meat, it loses its shock value after a while. You have to set some kind of tone with a proper story. A cast, with survivors of some sort. Or, hell, even have a zombie that can think. And some of these stories make good connections to the surviving characters that exist. And when you make that connection, it's even more dramatic when you see one of them turn. It shows not only the horror of that setting with the zombies, but utilizes them as well as a plot device that enhances the interactions with the cast you have. It turns them from mindless, meat-eating zombies to an ever-present threat looming in the background to all the things that you find dear in that show or game. Using zombies right will create immersion. Using them wrong creates just a bloody mess. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about today's episode. So, when I watched this episode, I went in blindly, figuring, okay, let's figure out how Rainbow Dash is going to end up learning a lesson. And I'm going to admit, this was an entertaining episode. But I can't shake that feeling that this was just zombies for the sake of zombies. From the reference to 28 Days Later in the name, to the slow-moving zombies that were created due to some kind of biological agent causing an outbreak. I will give the writers kudos for the whole cookies instead of brains portion. They told a classic story of zombies that children could enjoy. However, the entire situation, this episode seems like a rehash. It's the mysterious ne'er-do-well all over again, with zombies. Now, before you jump down my throat, again, I do not hate this episode. The episode was well-paced, it had nice animation to it, and hell, it even had the Cutie Mark Crusaders doing more than repeating the same exposition over and over again. But this episode puts Rainbow Dash in a bad light. We've seen her be the prankster before. She did this in Luna Eclipsed. We watched her have an overboard sense of pandering for an audience. This was seen in Mysterious Ne'er-Do-Well. And yes, the episode's message is pretty clear. If you're gonna be doing a joke, you should have a joke that everybody enjoys. But then it leads into the second half of this lesson. One shouldn't pander for attention using negative means. However, again, it's a similar lesson to the ne'er-do-well. Attention gained by pandering to an audience. Is it a different type? Yes. Is it a believable trait for Rainbow Dash? Yes. But do I feel that she should have gone to this extreme pranking everybody? No. The amount of time and effort she puts into this kind of pranking just for the attention? It's just overkill. And we all know that Rainbow Dash has the flaw of being self-centered. She gets caught up in how awesome she is. I just feel that it was that same sense of awesomeness and pride that caused this situation. I feel that she wouldn't have gone so far in the pranks if she didn't suddenly go, "Challenge accepted," and then go off to prank more people when her friends told her no. Alright, I'm gonna stop here because if I go further, I'm just going to be beating on this episode for all the wrong reasons. To put things mildly, I just don't like the way they presented Rainbow Dash in this episode. If anything, she could have been taught this lesson with less than the entire town involved. Now then, time for some of the episode positives. Number 1, creepy cake babies. These children already had soulless eyes. Now you're making them want cookies. Celestia, help us all. Number 2, some of the funniest expressions I've seen on pony faces. Some of them had vacant stares, but Mrs. Cake goes the extra mile by going cross-eyed. Number 3, a prank that goes so far to prank that it crosses the line twice and ends up back at the start. Just the presentation of how Pinky recalls being pranked gave me a chuckle. Overall, for the flaws of having a rehashed story and the ways that they present Rainbow Dash, I'm not the biggest fan of this episode. But being well-paced and having creative animation makes up for it. Even if a bit predictable, it's not the worst thing I've seen with zombies in it. Not the best, but not the worst. This is Deckard Spade, and thanks for staying a while to listen.